Morning, ladies. It is ultrasound day, and I'm going to try to take you along for as much of it as I can. It's a new facility, so I don't know if I'll be allowed to film, but I will try. And if you can't already tell, I am utterly petrified. So like I said, it's ultrasound day. I'm 6 weeks, 4 days, so it's still pretty early. I think I should have requested to have this like a week from now, but whatever. Quick background for anybody who's maybe a little new here. We had 2 pregnancies back in 2018, and the first one, this first ultrasound, was where we knew something was wrong. The heart rate wasn't where they wanted it, and then we came back in a week and it still was low, so they told us it wasn't going to be viable. So I had to keep going back in week after week until it was completely stopped before I could schedule a D&C. And then with our second one, we had really low betas, our betas that weren't doubling, and then our first ultrasound was fine, and then a few weeks later when I was at my OB, they couldn't find a heartbeat. So first trimester is not my friend. A lot of anxiety, and a lot of anxiety around this ultrasound because you know, it's been a signal that something's wrong, it's not been a signal, so that's kind of, you know, the anxiety of it too, that like even getting past this ultrasound, we still have one more big milestone to hit before we're past where we've been in the past. So that's where we're at. I just wanted to like preface that. I am gonna try to enjoy moments when I can. I think I've said it a bunch in my updates, but I'm just trying to like be honest with both you and me around this pregnancy and not try to force myself to be happy or force myself into anything. Honestly, it's been very like relieving, unburdening. Like, I don't think, well, I won't speak for you, but I know I at least tried to like corral my emotions a lot, and like letting them go has been like a lot less mental energy. So anyway, just a thought. Feel your feelings and try not to like anticipate what you're gonna feel or corral it when you do feel something, or think about what you should. I think I spent a lot of time trying to do that, being like, well, I should be happy because this is like my only shot and I should be happy. And my therapist very kindly was like, how about you just don't? Like, how about you just try to just feel how you feel? I was like, cool. Anyway, so that's an interesting path that I've gone down, where I'm just trying to be like neutral about this pregnancy. If there's moments of joy, I'm going to count that as a win, but I'm definitely like not trying to get to that really super high point of just feeling so good because I'm pregnant, oh my god. Like, that's not my goal. If I get there, awesome, but if not, like, I'm okay with that. And again, that's so relieving to be like, yeah, maybe I'm not gonna super enjoy pregnancy because it's kind of been ruined, and just accepting that is freeing. So that was a very long tirade to say, oh god, speaking for so long, that's a very long tirade to say that like today is going to be a mixed bag. Either any way it goes, I am definitely taking the afternoon off. Our ultrasound is until 1:30, and I'm just like, you know what, it's gonna be like an emotional crash. Let's just let it go. Let's just let it go. I haven't had a day off since our first transfer because I didn't take one off for my second transfer. So yeah, I think it's been several months. So I'm like, let's take a half day. Let's do it. All right, I will pick you back up when we are at the fetal medicine clinic. We have to find that too. We have no idea where that is. All right, bye. All right, it's been a few days, and I'll tell you why it's been a few days here in a minute, but I know you're all waiting for this. Da 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 da. Little baby. So we did get our ultrasound and everything is fine. And if you want to click away now, that's fine. Please leave a like on this video. But yeah, everything is fine. The heart rate was 127 beats per minute, which is fabulous. You want it above 100, like between 103 and 135 or something. So it was good. It was good. But it did take me a few days to pick up with the camera to talk about it. And before I go into this story, I think it's important to preface the why of why I'm doing this. So Originally, I started this channel to provide support to women going through this so they feel less isolated. In the course of doing this, I have found out how easy it is to over-edit what you share so that it seems happier than it really is, but that leaves out the difficult parts, which isn't lying, and I don't hold it against anyone who edits, and you're not obligated to share 100%, but I have found that it feels disingenuous and counterproductive to not at least share with you when moments were hard, because that is what really makes it feel okay for other people. I think as I watch other channels, because I do, to get support and hope, it is so important to me mentally to see those women have down moments and not just go through this like chipper warrior, we're gonna do it attitude. It makes it more real. It makes it okay, more okay when I have down days to be like, yes, okay, this happens because this is hard. I feel like if we edit out all the hard bits as we share, then the fact that we say this is really hard and this is one of the hardest things gets lost because it's just words, and you need to show the actions behind it, or those moments to like make it more valuable as something for other people to look to and get hope from and benchmark against. I know that's not what we're really here for, but it does. It helps to see other people actually struggle and not just say they struggle. So I'm going to share. I couldn't film this or else I would have done so I can only tell you right now, but I am going to be as honest as I can while still preserving my privacy, the husband's privacy. That was a very long rant, so let's get on with the story. So I left you off, we were walking into the hospital because our clinic is outsourcing ultrasounds now, I think because their schedule is so much more packed because they have extra cleaning, so they're outsourcing ultrasounds to the hospital. We went there, we were crazy early because we'd gone and gotten lunch, and then I was like, let's just go see if they'll let us in, and they totally did. I think it's important to note that ultrasounds are my #1 trigger. They are my #1 trigger. If you are new here, somehow just jumping into this, ultrasounds are where I get my bad news. Ultrasounds are where I get told there's no heartbeat. So they are my #1 trigger, and it is just something that is ingrained in my brain now. If you care about the science of it, your amygdala, controls your fear response, and you're born with certain fears, but you can actually have fears programmed in as you get older. A very minor example of this is if you get food poisoning from a restaurant, you might always kind of get that feeling like when you see it or when someone suggests you eat it, and you can say, like, obviously this is a different time, I'm probably not going to get food poisoning, but your brain still says, no, no, no. Same type of thing, just notched up a notch. This is a different pregnancy, this is a different ultrasound, but my brain still goes, no, 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 this is pain, this is horrible, this is bad. So that's what it felt like going into that. And all you can do, like, you can't stop that fear from happening, but you can use your frontal cortex, the front part of your brain, to calm yourself back down and say, no, this is different. This is, a different pregnancy. This is probably going to have a different outcome. Like, all you can do is back yourself back down. You can't stop that initial fear. And I think that was the most important thing for me to, like, come out of learning more about why this was such a big trigger for me, was that, like, it's part of your brain. Like, you can't undo it now except with a lot of work. And is that really worth it for this pregnancy and maybe one other one? Probably not worth the trauma of going through that. So the best I'm doing right now is doing that. All that to say was I started getting so anxious, so nervous sitting in that room. I kind of just shut down. The lady came in, asked the basic questions of how far along are you? Oh, this was IVF. How many days transfer? When was your transfer? And I answered those questions. And after that, I said 6 words to her, and it was just thank you 3 times. She would say something to me, I would say thank you. They like, look, she said, look, there's the heart rate's this, and I would say thank you, and I can't even remember what she said afterwards. I didn't even remember the heart rate correctly until the husband corrected me the other night, and he's like, it wasn't 123, it was 127. I was like, good, I blacked out, it's fine. I just shut down. I was just grasping my hands so they wouldn't shake. I was just getting through that moment, and even though it was okay, it was okay. Like, it was just such a fearful moment, and I said thank you to her one more time, and she left because she was like, what is this Fruit Loop doing? Like, she was being a total freak right now. She left the room, and obviously the husband was in the room with me. Thankfully, they allowed that with COVID, and I just broke down. I just broke down. And I can't even fully articulate it. I just know my stress was climbing so much during that week leading up to it. That was such a moment, and I think this isn't like the same, so please don't, but it's kind of like getting out, like if you're in a car crash and even though you're okay, you still cry because it was scary. Like, I think that was it. So I had a moment there. For privacy's sake, we'll gloss over that. I had a moment, got cleaned up, put our masks back on, and the husband was like, look, no one will even know you were crying because of masks. I was like, you're adorable, I love you. And we went out, and I took the rest of the day off because I was just emotionally out of it. So that's it. That was my share. That was my share. It was hard. I did it. Even though it was good, it was still really emotionally difficult. The good news is baby's on track, measuring perfectly, heart rate's perfect. And I've been kicked out over to my OB. I'm actually waiting for a call back from them to set up an appointment whenever she wants that. But that's one more milestone done. This upcoming OB appointment will be the last big milestone to get past, because that is when we got told that our second pregnancy had ended. So still a little bit stressed out, certainly feeling way better post this ultrasound than before it. So to leave on a little happier note, it took about 24 hours for that to fade off, but then it was just so much lighter. I wouldn't say we're hopeful and giddy and oh my god, we're gonna have a baby. Like, we're not there, but we're grateful to be past one more hurdle. So that's where we are. I know it's not super uplifting. There are 1,000 women on YouTube that will give you happy like updates if that's what you want, and without all this sadness and stuff. Like, go follow them. I totally get it. It's kind of a breath of fresh air to just see someone happy and excited about their pregnancy. But I am here for my infertility mamas, for my lost mamas. I'm here to give a realistic picture of what pregnancy after loss looks like. And like I said, I'm trying to walk that fine line between my own privacy and being honest and helpful. Because it's not honest and helpful to get on here and be like, oh my god, look at this, if that's not what I'm feeling. So I waited a few days to tell you all this so I could articulate it in a way that I felt comfortable. Hope you appreciate that. Hope you're okay with that. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep on fighting, ladies.